To the ladies, to the gentlemen, to the fellas, to the fellas, to the fellas, we're live right now. NBA starts in like an hour and 10 minutes. I figured you might as well come back on. I got time, right? I got some time right now. I'm going to go and record an NFL video for season long after this. Just 3 short weeks away until I can start making some NFL DFS content, which is the cream of the crop in content, a ton of fun to make. So welcome. This is going to be Q&A based. So if you're watching on the replay, I'm going to be going probably not right up until lock because I'm going to have to change some stuff on my own, but we're going live about 75 minutes before lock. I'll probably stay on for about 45 minutes as long as the questions keep coming in. I'm about to share this over on the Twitterverse right now real quickly, and then we will go from there. So if there's any updates during this slate, I'll try and provide context to what I think happens with the players. Obviously, we already have the news for Toronto. Pretty much the whole fucking team is sitting. What's going on, Tweezy baby? What's going on? What's going on? I was just watching your other video. Yeah, man, everybody make sure to continue to watch that video. I'm just posting out right now real quickly the tweet. Posting out this tweet quick, and then I will get right into your questions. I see people hopping in. Thank you. I appreciate you all being here. You all rock. Yeah, we're going to go live. Why not? Last day of the NBA regular season. Wasn't expecting to do every single bubble slate, but we did. We did every single day of the NBA. Tomorrow is a one-game showdown slate. I doubt I'll cover that. I'll just have the Patreon projections. And the tweet is out. We'll do it live then. Come hang. We'll do it live. All right. First, boom, any studs other than Harden that makes sense to have. It's going to depend. So as of right now, the context that we have right now, value is going to matter always, but on this slate, raw points matter way more. You're going to find value everywhere. I mean, you literally just found all of the value in Toronto. Toronto just opened up every possible value piece. That's probably going to happen with 3 or 4 other teams today, right? Every single player who's going to be playing for Toronto and starting for them today is going to be a fantastic play if you're just looking at value. But if you're looking at actual points upside, yes, Chris Bouchard looks good. Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, Terrence Davis, Stanley Johnson, those guys can hit 30 points. So yeah, they look good at their $3,000 price tags for most of them. But you want pure points upside. So to answer your question, I have Harden for 52 fantasy points today. Harden might only play like 20 minutes, and then he only goes for 40 fantasy points, right? Or 38. So it's sketchy. Like Harden is no sure thing either, but that brings it back to the point where salary doesn't matter today. Like Harden going for 39 fantasy points might actually be one of the top 5 scorers on today's slate if so many guys are going to be all over the place. And even if he's not, some of the guys who score for like 40 or 42 might be like 1 or 2% owned, right? Josh Hart gets 55 points yesterday. He's not that highly owned because he has a questionable tag. Nobody knows if he's going to play. People pivot off to some other spots. Me pivoting from fucking Josh Hart yesterday, excuse my French, but it's not excuse, 55 points onto Johnson yesterday. Keldon Johnson for the Spurs was brutal. 30-point difference. It was the difference between winning in the 777, barely cashing, and finishing like 3rd place for fucking $20,000. That was my swap yesterday. That really ruined me. With 2 minutes to make the swap, I actually get the swap off, and for once, I actually burned myself on late swapping, which normally you usually are late swapping onto a beneficial thing. Sucked. But I see the questions coming in. What's up, everybody? I see a lot of people hopping in here. This is fun. Yeah, we're gonna have a real good time. Let's see what we got going on. We already got 50 plus people in here. You all rock. Let's do this shit, says Juan. Yeah, so the golf is going on right now. The basketball is about to start up today. Signed up for Superdraft. Thanks for the extra cash. Yeah, man. Sign up for Superdraft. I mean, they just emailed me yesterday or 2 days ago because we're bringing them a lot of people. I mean, full disclosure, we've brought them 150 people in the last week to 10 days. So and that's just people who have deposited. It's 400 people who have actually just signed up. A lot of people probably not in legal states to play. But if you're in a legal state right now, get in there because they just sent me 2 days ago in an email. They said it's still at $10 if you sign up with the promo code SAL, but now 50% deposit match up to $1,000. So if you're just throwing $20 into there, instead of now just having $20, you're going to have $10 plus $5, you're going to have $35 in there because of that deposit bonus and the extra $5. So pretty cool. Love that I got notified that you went live. Yeah, hit the notification bell so you can get all that. 33 in here with 1 like. Come on, guys. Yeah. Good stuff. Just followed and subscribed. What's going on, man? Welcome to the family. La Familia. You're here at a perfect time. Thanks because you're the GOAT, Sal. No, you're the GOAT, Jeremiah. Good info. Josh Hart saved me. Yeah, Josh Hart, I liked the play. I just didn't know if he was going to play. And I was in a very weird spot where I had a very good lineup going. as you can tell. I mean, I would have finished third in the 777 if I left Josh Hart in. But Josh Hart was questionable at the time, and I had like 3 minutes to get to Keldon Johnson with the Spurs starters not playing, or some of them, right? No DeRozan, limited minutes for like Rudy Gay and stuff. So I figured, okay, if Josh Hart doesn't play, I'm kind of fucked in this situation. I can't put in Alexander Walker. I can't put in those types of guys because they don't play small forward. So I went Keldon Johnson, and they're biting me in the butt. These slates have been ugly, just waiting for the playoffs to start back up. Yeah, no problem. Mike, you're in Raleigh, right? Or in the Raleigh area, North Carolina. I want to go to some cool breweries today, or maybe this weekend with some friends, if you know any. I mean, I know a good amount, like Trophy, White Hill, obviously the Beer Garden downtown, those types of things. But is there any just in like random spots? I've heard of Crank Arm, that's downtown. But anything cool? Is Trophy worth going to right now with everything? I don't know if you have any context on that. SGA or Covington? So SGA or Covington's a pretty good question. I don't really trust SGA's minutes as much as I honestly trust Covington's, just the way that they've been playing players. I have Covington right now for 2 more fantasy points. That's as of right now. Anything that I tell you can completely be changed when we get the update that Steven Adams is out, Gallo's out, SGA's out, right? Everything that just happened for Toronto when we get that. We just got an update from Fantasy Labs. They officially ruled out Serge Ibaka. They officially ruled out OG Anunoby. That's fine. We were already expecting them to be out, so no big deal there. Do you think Eric Gordon gets run to get better in shape for the second game back? I think he does, but I think it's like 20 minutes again, so it's not really going to matter for me. Like, they're probably going to play him for 20 to 25 minutes, and at that point, he's grading out for like 16 fantasy points. Obviously, if he has a ceiling performance where he makes all 3 or 4 three-pointers that he shoots, yeah, he'll score 24 points, but I'm not getting there right now. Covington over SJ for me right now. Join the Patreon family, guys. Yeah, join the Patreon family. Everything's updated on Patreon so far for today. It will be throughout the day. Right now, the top plays on the slate, I can give you a peek behind the curtain as of 12:24 Eastern Time PM. It's all the Toronto guys. My top 5 plays right now are Toronto guys, so shouldn't surprise anybody. It's all the Toronto guys. And if I look at my top 10, I believe 8 of the top 10 right now are Toronto players, or 7 of the top 10. So yeah, the top 6 are Toronto guys. That's just the way it's going to be. I'm expecting Bouchard to start. Marcus All, I don't think he's going to play at this point, or if he does, it's a spot start. They might not even start him, just not rule him out, just to have emergency depth if they need it. RHJ, Stanley Johnson's going to get dusted off and just have to play big minutes. Terrence Davis is going to be the primary ball handler with no Siakam, who actually does handle the ball when there's no Lowry or Van Vliet out there. So yeah, you obviously have no OG Anunoby. It comes down to like Norman Powell and Terrence Davis as ball handlers today. So he's going to have to just get a ton of minutes. Josh Richardson, a solid play today. I'm not confident in Josh Richardson in terms of the minutes that he will be getting. It's a little drive from Raleigh, but there's a beer trail with 4 or so breweries you would have to Google. Interesting. Okay, I could look into that. None gets usual minutes because of the time missed. Yeah, I'm projecting none for like 30 minutes. Not even because like the time missed, but like who are they going to play? They do have a lot of guards that they can go to with like Matt Thomas. Obviously, Tyler Hero's there, but and they also have a couple of other guys. Thomas is the one that I'm projecting for a decent amount of run. Tyler Hero, I'm trying to look at some of the other players that they have. Olynyk's not going to handle any of the ball stuff. But yeah, like I think Kendrick Nunn, like right now, Kendrick Nunn looks like one of the better options on the slate, but it's just because of the minutes. He averages over a fantasy point, 1.05 fantasy points per minute in a decent sample of like 200 minutes, which is as good as you're going to get when you take off 3 key players in Dragic, Bam, and Jimmy Butler. Thanks, Sal. Is Denver playing starters? We don't have the Denver starting lineup. They have been playing starters, but in the last game, they rested their starters in the third quarter, not because of a blowout. They were actually tied/winning the game when they rested their starters, so I wouldn't expect anything over like the mid-20s in minutes for the Denver starters, which is going to make most of them not playable at that point for me. How many minutes do you have Stanley Johnson for? Stanley Johnson's minutes right now, let me give a quick peek behind the curtain. I believe it's a very good amount based on how he's projecting out for me. Let me quickly pull this up. Stanley. I'm projecting Stanley Johnson for 25 minutes today. How do you feel about PJ Dozier? I think PJ Dozier is a decent option. I think a lot of the Denver guys are probably off the bench going to be seeing those key players like Monty Morris, Dozier, Jeremy Grant, and Mason Plumlee, like the main bench guys. I think they probably hit 20-plus minutes apiece today, more times than not. It doesn't make me love Dozier. Like, Dozier looks good if he plays 30, but now with all this value that we already have in Toronto, Dozier would have to be your pivot play and hope that the Denver guys get ruled out and that Dozier plays 30-plus minutes and that he just outscores all these Toronto guys who are going to probably be very chalky. Because we got that Toronto news early, they're the 130 game. A lot of people are going to just pound the Toronto value because you should at this point. because that's all we know if you're playing cash games. But a very sneaky strategy for GPPs today is, that guys like, at least they should be, Terrence Davis, Bouchard, RHJ, Stanley Johnson, these guys are all going to be chalky because we already have that news. But if at 2:30 today or 3:30 before the 4 o'clock game starts, we get news on some of these other games, or at 7:30 p.m., 8 p.m. tonight, we get news that all of the Houston guys are sitting, and now Austin Rivers is the best play on the slate, a lot of people aren't going to be able to play him because they already played all the chalky Toronto value. So my goal today in a lot of my lineups, in my higher stakes, as somebody's alarm is going crazy, hopefully somebody didn't hit my car, that would suck. My goal today is to not play all the Toronto chalk in all of my lineups, because I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity to pivot later on onto guys. I don't expect most or any of these teams to play their guys for the entire time, which is going to make every single team have value. Why play the chalky value? The only reason that value is going to be chalky today is because it's known value, because the game starts in an hour. Whereas in 5 hours from now, we're going to have very known value that there's going to be probably a lot of guys on the Clippers, a lot of guys on OKC, probably Houston and Philly that are going to become very good value plays. The only reason that Houston or Toronto looks so good is because we already know about it, and they're all just dirt cheap, going to be out there for close to 30 minutes. Sal, what do you think about Grant or Horford? I like Jeremy Grant more. Is Kendrick Nunn going to get full run today? I don't know. I'm projecting him for pretty close to it, though. Like the damn video. Sal's the hardest working free content provider in DFS on YouTube. Give the man a thumbs up. Yeah, hit the thumbs up and hit that big subscribe button. It's small right now, though, bottom right-hand corner. Hey, Sal, what do you think for Grant or Horford? Grant. Any word on the Clippers resting PG or Kawhi? No word yet. No word yet, but if that can definitely happen. Justin Holiday or drop down to a Toronto starter? Toronto starter there, but just know they're all going to be chalky. Powell, RJ Davis, Bouchard, rank them. I'll rank them Chris Bouchard, RHJ, Davis, and Powell. How many minutes are you giving Stanley Johnson and Norman Powell? I'm giving Stanley Johnson 25 minutes. I'm giving Norman Powell 25 minutes. I got you, bro. Yeah, like City Brewing downtown Raleigh is my favorite one, and there's another nice downtown Durham called Dirty Bull Brewing. Great food and drinks. Okay, so Dirty Bull and then City Brewing. So it's just called City Brewing, or is it called Raleigh City Brewing? I'll look into City Brewing. Do they have like outdoor seating at all? I want to kind of sit outside. Obviously, I think we have to sit outside. Any love for Harden? A win to avoid playing Denver. Yeah, no, I was told that they're locked in. I was told that they have the tiebreaker over Utah. That could be wrong based on the YouTube comments. I would not classify the YouTube comments as always being accurate. So, yeah, I think that any love for Harden today, yeah. He could just play 20 minutes, though. But I don't think they need to win to secure not playing Denver. Right now they're playing OKC, I believe. How much salary should be left on the table? No number today. There's no number for salary today. There's a good chance that you can leave $20,000 on the table today. Like, I don't know. Like if you're not playing Harden today, you're probably playing a bunch of 5, 4, and 3K options, and some of them are going to score 30. Some of them are going to score 40. I'm sure somebody scores 50 like Josh Hart yesterday. So salary doesn't matter today. Value doesn't matter today. I started this off by saying value does matter every day, and it does. But what I mean by value doesn't matter today is you need raw points. All these guys projected for 7 and 8 and 6x today, there's so many of them that it doesn't matter. Take the ones that you like and then go up for the points. So yeah, I don't think Kawhi Leonard at $10,000 is a fantastic play more times than not on this slate, but if he's going to project out for 39 fantasy points and I only have, let me see how many guys I have projected for over 35 fantasy points today. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 guys projected for over 35 fantasy points today. So at the end of the day, when Kawhi is my second highest projected player at 38.8 fantasy points, I obviously have to have interest because it just starts to come down to if Kawhi plays just 28 minutes today and scores 35 points, he's probably outscoring 95% of the slate because so many guys are just going to be shitty players, one, and only playing like 20 to 25 minutes at not good point per minute production. Yes, Sal is live. You were literally the best out here. Henny Knight, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm going to throw in right now the link to the Patreon. If you are interested, the projections are updated. They will be updated. You'll get them all throughout the playoffs. You'll get all the golf stuff, and the NFL starts in 3 weeks. So you can check that out if you want to support over there. I think there's 2 spots for the Hall of Fame membership left, and then that's sold out. Who's your top Toronto play? The top plays for Toronto, for me, I mean, it's going to be, we have to see the starting lineup. I don't think that's out yet, but RHJ, Bouchard, Stanley Johnson, Terrence Davis, Hernandez. Those are the top 5 guys that I like. Who are the 4 players? What 4 players do you mean? Dirty Bull Brewing is both. Indoor and out. Little City Brewing is inside. Okay, cool. I'll look into those. I'm going to screenshot those right now, actually. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know if you've been to Wyatt Till, Mike. The one that like overlooks the city. I didn't know I've been here for a year. I didn't know it existed. Look, we went there. It's pretty cool. Denver, Utah is locked. I'm 99% sure. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought every single playoff matchup right now is set. So like literally no, like Harden, although he is the guy who always plays, this would be the one situation where he doesn't play more than 20 minutes because there's literally nothing to play for outside of like just wanting to ball, which he does. Doc Rivers isn't DFS friendly. No, he is not. Do you think Kawhi or George plays? I would think that if I had to bet, I would bet that one sits, one plays, and only plays like 25 minutes. I would assume Kawhi sits, Paul George plays like 24 minutes. If I had to like put money on it, which obviously I don't want to because I have no confidence in that, but that's the way that I would go. Doug McDermott, I think he's okay, but the problem with like Doug McDermott, I think is fine. Especially if Goga's out, because that's like 18 minutes, 16 minutes or so it's going to be out of the rotation. So McDermott already looks like pretty decent value. Right now, McDermott ranks out as my 19th overall play on the slate. If you just go by point per dollar value, that can only go up depending on what happens with Goga today, even Malcolm Brogdon today. Can you play none? Jared Daigle says, can you play none and Hero together? I think you can. Yeah, I think there's upside there. Like I think that just as much just as much as they could be limited to like 28 minutes each, they could each play 40 minutes today. And I don't think you can say that about a lot of guys. Only the Lakers' opponent has not been determined. Yep, that's what I thought. Okay, thank you. Baisley or Covington? I'll go Covington. Nerlens Noel going to be a solid play today. If indeed Steven Adams is out, I think Nerlens Noel is a good play. I keep trying to check for updates on injury news. Nothing has been changed yet. So yeah. Sal, what do you do for fun when you're not working all the time? That's a good question. I do work a lot. I just went 2 days ago and started hitting some drives at the golf course actually just at the driving range. So that's one thing. I'm trying to learn golf right now. I used to be a turf science major and I would golf like once or twice in my life, but I actually want to golf so I can go on trips with my friends. But yeah, man, just hang out with my girlfriend. I don't really watch as much sports right now during the pandemic. I'll start watching a lot more during the NBA playoffs whenever I can. But yeah, I work a lot. That's the truth of it. I don't live by a lot of my friends because I moved down to North Carolina. All of my friends live in the Northeast. So it makes it easier. I would say difficult at times, like obviously not having friends to hang out with like 24/7 like I used to in college and high school. But it makes it easier to at least focus on work. And I have a lot of goals that I want to hit for the work side of it. Like very, very big goals that honestly don't even have anything to do with fantasy, DFS, or anything like that. A lot bigger goals than that. So yeah, man, I work nonstop. I hang out on the weekends with friends. I'm going to go to breweries, hang out after this. So yeah, things like that. There's other stuff too, cooking, all that stuff. I run a shit ton. I love running. Do you think Kawhi or George plays? One probably plays, one probably sits, and one probably gets limited if I had to guess. I think that he's not going to get as many minutes, and if he does, I don't think he's going to get many points. Every time I put him in, he never does, but Hero, he'll do something. I think they're both fine. Nunn's cheap, and all those other guys aren't in the lineup today. A lot of questions in here. I like this. What do we got? How many people? 164 people. Yo, what's going on? Holla, holla, holla at your boy. Hit the like and subscribe button, fellas, and go sign up right now. Especially, ask me for the Super Draft projections. I'll give them to you if you're on this live stream. I don't normally do that. They're on Patreon, but sign up on Super Draft. Promo code SAL. You get $10 and you get a 50% deposit match up to $1,000. That is brand new. Do you like TJ Leaf if Goga sits? Probably not. I know he's going to have to be forced into minutes, but TJ Leaf is a very bad player. Like TJ Leaf is literally a 0.5 fantasy point per minute producer. I don't care if you gave TJ Leaf 25 minutes today. He probably is still not somebody that cracks a lot of my lineups. Minutes for Olynyk and Bol. I have Kelly Olynyk at 22 minutes, and I don't even feel confident in that. Actually, I have him at 20 minutes. That's what he played last game. I have Bol at 6 minutes right now. What's up, Big Dog? What's on to Sean Cooper? What's up? Can you rank the Toronto value? RHJ, there's the value in Toronto. I mean, just don't even worry about it. You just play them. It's RHJ, it's Bouchard, it's Stanley Johnson, it's Terrence Davis, it is Hernandez. But, I mean, RHJ and Bouchard probably stand out above the rest, but they're all so cheap. There's not like one guy that if I'm building a lineup, I'm starting here. Like, just know that RHJ, Bouchard, all these guys are going to be an absolute chalk. I think the best way to play this slate, if you actually want to win a lot of money, is not to play more than 2 of the Toronto value and just wait for value to open up later. There's going to be so much value on this slate. It's just that this game starts 2.5 hours before every other game. At 7:30 tonight, when everybody from Philadelphia is ruled out again, and Furkan Korkmaz is 5% owned, but still puts up 35 fantasy points. I'm giving you examples. When James Harden gets ruled out at 7:45 tonight, James Harden gets ruled out, and Austin Rivers goes for 40 fantasy points, right? Something along those lines. Whatever it might be, those guys aren't going to have anywhere near the amount of ownership as the Toronto guys because the Toronto guys are starting earlier. I think the Toronto guys are fantastic projected plays at their price, but I think they're going to be massive, massive, massive chalk. And that would normally be okay, but when we know that all these other games are going to have value, that we just have to wait for it to open up, nobody's playing for anything today. Guys are going to get ruled out just like the Toronto guys did. It's just a matter of time. So although the Toronto value is fantastic, just know that Toronto value is literally going to be 80, 70, 80, and 85. Like Chris Bouchard today might be 90% owned. I'm not even kidding. He might be 90% owned today. RHJ is probably going to be 50+% owned. Just keep going down the list. Terrence Davis, 50+% owned. When every other play that's going to look just like them in 3 hours is going to be like 10% owned, 15% owned, because people can't get to them. So I'm personally probably not playing 90% owned Chris Bouchard. That's just what I'm not doing that in my higher stakes lineups today. If he scores 50 points, it bites me in the butt, that's fine. I actually might play Bouchard. I'll walk that back. Bouchard is like the one guy I have projected. I have Bouchard projected for the third most fantasy points on the slate right now. So like everybody not named Bouchard. Like if there's a 50 or 60% RHJ, I'm fine not playing him. Like there's going to be other value today. And if there's not, that's fine. I think this is the right decision anyways. I'm just hoping we don't get that news. There you go. Michael Porter Jr. just ruled out, right? This value is about to really, really creep in. Obviously, that's still in the first game with Denver. I'll be off before the slate locks, so I'll be able to update all this stuff for patrons. The lowest multiplier in Super Draft is 1.7x. Yeah. This is all the Super Draft stuff. 1.95x. What you mean 1.7x? They got all that. Is it bad that I have too much salary left over? No, I don't think so. Sal, show us some dance moves to the new Drake. Oh my God. I mean, if we were in a club, it would be absolutely over. Like, just because I'm a white guy doesn't mean I don't got moves. I'm an Italian from New York. I got rhythm. If you put me on a dance floor and if it's a Drake song, it's over. But if it's just any type of rap or hip hop song that I know the words to, it's over. Something takes over me. There's plenty of videos of me out there. They're just on people's phones. I might need to get some turf tips. Yeah, man. I got your cool and warm season grasses, your Kentucky blue, your perennial rye. Thanks, bro. You're the best, Garrett. Eric Gordon getting run with and without the starter sitting. I think he gets 20 to 25 minutes, like they said, which doesn't really excite me. Nito or Shake Milton? I'll go Nito. In a head-to-head player versus player, would you go SGA over Brooding? And would you do Jermichael Green over R. Gordon? Ray, say that again. I don't know what you mean there. Grant is a lock. Yeah, I mean, all these guys are getting ruled out for Denver, so every single team is going to do this. I mean, it's only Michael Porter so far, but every single team is going to rule out all their players. I mean, it's just going to happen. So when you're owning like 50%, 60, and 70% Toronto value, it's no longer value when every single player owns it. Every single Toronto guy can go for 40 fantasy points today. You're not winning a damn thing because every single person you're playing against has them. So I'd rather hope that some of them only score 26, 27 points, and later on value goes for 45 or 50 like Josh Hart did last night in one of the final games to start at very lower ownership than guys earlier in the day. So I'm going to just wait. I'm going to kick back. I'll get 1 or 2 shares of somebody in this Toronto and Denver game, and I'm going to load up on the late value that comes in later on that's going to be low owned and be just as good, if not better. Oh, you mean your lowest? Okay. He said, good game, easy clap. A lot of next year's showcasing today. Yeah, exactly. If Bobo starts, will he be a lock? If Bobo starts, I hope if we get that starting news and the starting lineup, I hope it's 2 minutes before lock. Because I don't want to play all these 1:30 p.m. chalk guys, to be honest with you. Who did you play in your high stakes golf lineup? Yeah, so let me pull that up. It's actually looking decent right now. We're gonna have to see Spieth and Tommy Fleetwood do some stuff though. But all the value is coming through. I played Sam Burns, who's like 6 under. Let me pull it up. High stakes golf lineup is Sam Burns, Tommy Fleetwood, Matthew Naismith, Henrik Norlander, Doc Redman, Patrick Reed. So we're gonna need a little help out of your boy Tommy Fleetwood right now. Everybody else seems good right now. You got guys on the line. I think Redman was on the line. I don't know if he started yet. I haven't checked anything on PGA today. I just don't feel like sweating a cut, to be honest with you. Redmond was 3 under. He starts at 135. Munoz, I have in. So that's my main single entry, but I have 3 max liners that have Munoz in them. I have one that has Rose in it, which he's going to have the round of his life to do anything. SGA over Brogdon. Yeah, right now I would go SGA over Brogdon. I'm not too convinced that Brogdon's going to get much run today. Hero or Powell? Hero for me, for sure. I believe you. It looks like you got some moves. Yeah, man, I can't breakdance or anything, but I got rhythm. I'm not the, what is the meme with all the old white dudes on the stage just like fist pumping their hands and clapping for like the new iPhone release or whatever? Yeah, I'm not those guys, that's for sure. Italian disco vibes? Nah, I could definitely make a parody video of some Italian disco vibes though. Get my man Sebastian, the comedian, on those. Have a good day. You're the flipping man. Yeah. IPA or craft beer? I'm fine with both, to be honest with you. If I had to pick, I'd probably go craft, but I am a pale ale guy. I'm just not sure I am the Indian pale ale type of guy, but I could drink them. I had IPAs this last weekend when my girlfriend's brother and parents were here. I had Belizean whites, right? I mean, the Belizean whites are just, everybody's got to like those. All these updates on players out, starting to look like an extremely low salary day and extremely low points. 100%. You are right on that, Ray Chillin. There's no real studs. Why so hesitant on Powell? Easily the highest ceiling for Toronto. Cause of chalk? No, I just don't know if Powell gets the minutes. Powell was another one of the starters who got limited. He didn't play the fourth quarter last game. He got taken out in the third with the rest of the starters. So I just don't know if I trust Powell going all the way. Can he be the Josh Hart of Toronto today and just play the whole game and go off? Yeah, but I don't know if I trust Powell to actually see more than 25 minutes today when he's going to be chalky. Like if a guy's going to be, I think Powell comes in at 50+% ownership. These guys in Toronto are going to be way too highly owned. They're great plays in cash, although they'll all be owned there. But why the hell am I going to play an 80% owned RHJ or whatever he comes in at today when later on the exact same play is going to be there at 20% ownership, right? That's just all it's about right now. We just don't know who that play is going to be yet. I mean, right now it might actually be Jeremy Grant. What is Jeremy Grant's ownership at? It's probably lower with no... Yeah, Jeremy Grant is going to be probably... I mean, with that news that Porter's out, it'll probably come up a little bit. But Grant, I would expect to be 10% owned, and his minutes aren't secure either. But just things like that. Kyle O'Quinn, ? I need to see more news before I go to Kyle O'Quinn. I don't expect Joel Embiid to play more than 15 to 20 minutes if he plays, but we have to see what happens with Al Horford. If Horford's going to play 20 and Embiid plays 20, it's just hard for Kyle O'Quinn to do anything. Can you trust Jokic to play tonight? You can trust him to play, but not more than 20 minutes. But Jokic, that being said, Jokic right now is my fourth highest projected player. I have Bouchard projected ahead of him, so, 90% Bouchard today. I might just fade all of Toronto. I might just fade off Toronto and get one of the pieces of the lower owned guys. And when I say lower owned, they're probably going to be still 50% owned, but a Terrence Davis. Chris Bouchard is going to absolutely dominate tonight. But do I want to play a 90+% owned Chris Bouchard? Let me say that again. There's 4 games today, and this guy's going to be 90% owned today. Right? That's crazy. James Harden is probably going to be 90+% owned today. These are the slates where there's leverage. If James Harden gets ruled out 20 minutes before lock, 90% of the lineups have him. There's no way that 20 to 30 to 40% of those lineups are getting off of him in time. I'm hoping for chaos today, right? I'm going to have James Harden in my lineup, my high stakes lineup, but I'm going to wait. And I'm going to say at 8:55, I hope they say James Harden is out, or they just put a lineup out that doesn't have him starting and they don't even rule him out until after lock. I want that stuff to happen today. Because this is an uncertain day where there's going to be 50 players that are potentially going to play 25 minutes that are all in the 3,000 and 4,000 price range. There's no reason to load up on 4 or 5 of the guys that are on one team because their news came out first. So that's my stance on today. And again, these guys can all be in the winning lineup, and that's fine. But I think if you play this slate out more times than not, and you wait for the other value to open up later on at the exact same projection at a tenth of the ownership, that's probably where you're going to have the best bet. Have you started playing on FanDuel yet? No, I just don't like FanDuel. There's a lot of reasons I don't like FanDuel. I think their business sucks from a business model perspective and marketing. I won't say sucks, but I would say is just content, I guess you can say. They're just content with where they are. You don't buy a company in draft to, I guess maybe they're about to launch their best ball product, although they've had over a year to do that. Take it easy. Embiid going to play, Quinn interest. I'll have Kyle Quinn interest once we get the news. That's another guy. The games lock at 9 p.m., right? The Philadelphia game. If we get news that Embiid and Al Horford and Tobias Harris are out, it's Kyle Quinn night yet again, and he's going to play 30+ minutes and be very low owned, right? Those are the type of guys that I'm waiting to play later on. Davis could get more run than Powell. I agree. I think he does. How about Torrey Craig? No interest right now. 50% owned for Powell's an easy fade. Yeah, I think he'll probably come in around... He's going to be at least 35-40% owned, Powell, right? Kyle O'Quinn chalk. There's no way Kyle O'Quinn's going to be chalk until we get news. There's just no way people are going to own him. And then it's going to be too late. It's the last game on the slate. He won't be high enough owned. Right now, if we got news that Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, and Al Horford were all out today, right? If we got that news and it was the 1:30 game, Kyle O'Quinn would be 80% owned. If we get that news at 8:45, 8:30 tonight, Kyle O'Quinn's maybe going to be 20% owned, maybe going to be 25% owned, because everybody's going to already shoot their load on all the value out there, right? FanDuel and Sal questions. Here we go for the next 20 minutes. No. Korkmaz or Burks? I'll go Alec Burks there if he plays. I love that strategy, Sal Vetri. Thank you. Happened with DeRozan yesterday. Yeah, exactly. DeRozan got ruled out last second. He had, 25% ownership on him before the contest. Michael Porter Jr., trust or no? Michael Porter Jr. is out today, sir, so I would not trust him. I can almost feel guaranteed in my touting of that play that I will get that one right. I will tout and project Michael Porter Jr. for 0 minutes today. How many minutes do you got for SGA? I have SGA at... Let me pull it up. I think I gave him... SGA Shaya. I gave SGA 28 minutes today, but I mean, that might even be high. But even at 28 minutes, it's not something that I really like. What about all these Pacers? The Aaron brothers, the Holiday brothers, you mean? Always screw me over. I like TJ McConnell today. I'm hoping Malcolm Brogdon gets ruled out because I think McConnell's going to just go the fuck off. McConnell has 50-point upside in him. Like, TJ McConnell has triple-double upside in him. Trust Covington's minutes if House plays. Yeah, House is going to hurt Gordon more, Rivers more, and McLemore more. And even Jeff Green before it'll really hurt Covington, in my opinion. Mike Scott, question mark. Yeah, Mike Scott only gets better as the day goes on if there's no Harris, Embiid, or Horford. Right now, he just kind of looks like a meh option. What's up, Sal? What do you think about Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero? I like Tyler Hero a lot more than Duncan Robinson. Korkmaz or Burks, Bouchard or O'Quinn? Well, right now, we don't have any news. Like, if you told me... So, here's the thing. Chris Bouchard is going to be 90% owned, and he's projected as my third highest scorer today. That's great. But if you tell me that Kyle O'Quinn's going to get the start later and all those guys are out, he'll project out pretty closely, and he'll be like 10% owned. So... with the information we have right now, the answer is Chris Bouchard, but the best strategy to actually win money today is to avoid a lot of the Toronto chalk. That's my opinion. We're going to get more value. There's no need to be playing 70 to 90% owned guys when you're going to get those exact same projectable players that'll open up in literally 3 hours from now, right? And maybe even 20 minutes from now if the Denver guys all start getting ruled out like Michael Porter did. Speaking of Michael Porter, I have to update his projection for the people over on the nice Patreon, because I had him at 30 fantasy points, and that's another guy that I projected for over 30 fantasy points, now not playing today. So let's update that fella. Michael Porter. I'm going to answer all your questions, don't worry. I'm going to be on for like another 10 minutes or so, so if you want your question guaranteed answer, you could have a super chat just so I see it and it pops up. 176 of you, what's up, everybody? Appreciate all of you being in here. Hit the like button for me 1 second, take a second of your time, and hit that big old subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner. It should be like right around like my mic. Duncan Robinson's minutes projection. Yeah, I have him at like 25, I think. I could look, but I'm trying to update this projection on the Denver guys now that Michael Porter's out. Michael Porter's the easy one to project out. I think I'm going to raise Jokic. Well, I'm not even going to think. I'm going to raise his minutes by 1 just with no Michael Porter just because they're down depth right now until we get more news. I'm going to raise all the starters with Michael Porter out because that's all I can do right now. Their point per minute production will be going up. I think it looks a lot better for a guy right now. And so like a guy in Mason Plumlee at 4,700 is starting to look like a better play just with Michael Porter out. And that's not even with like some of these other guys who likely are going to be ruled out. Jeremy Grant starts to look a little bit better. I have him projected now for 22.3 points. So that's the type of stuff that starts happening. But other than that, like Michael Porter being out is going to help like Diapo off the bench, maybe Troy Daniels or Noah Vonleh if they see a couple of minutes. Nothing crazy there outside of just a couple of minutes to them and some more run for Grant and or Plumlee. So I'm going to update that on Patreon now. Clippers starters, question mark. We don't have the Clippers starters yet, Dale. Gasol is starting. Do we have that news for sure? Do we have the starters for Toronto? I don't think we, unless they just came out. Here we go. Raptors will start Davis, Powell, Thomas, Hollis Jefferson, and Gasol. Yeah, so I don't expect the Gasol to see more than 20 minutes. But if you're playing 90% of a guy who's coming off the bench today, or playing a guy who's 90% owned coming off the bench today, I don't know about that. Like Bouchard is projected for a lot of points. He doesn't need to start to get those minutes, right? And he can do it in 25, 26 minutes. So I don't even know if I would be expecting Bouchard to really start here with Gasol never ruled out. But, yeah, I mean, I stand by my take that I'm not really going to be playing these extremely chalky Toronto guys. I'll have pieces of them here and there, but I'm not trying to play 3 or 4 of them in a lineup because what are you doing then? If they all go off, it's no benefit to you. You're still battling with 70% of the field. you might as well just leverage against some of them going off and some of them sucking. All right, so we got the lineup right now for Toronto. I mean, yes, Davis, Powell, Thomas. I mean, it makes Matt Thomas look a little bit better, right, starting at the 3. RHJ is starting at the 4. I like that. So Hollis Jefferson is still somebody that I like, but the ownership is just brutal. I think you have to knock down Chris Bouchar's projection now that he's not starting. I think you have to knock his just minutes down, right, from a projection standpoint. So this is just, I mean, bear with me because I have to do this. So Chris Bouchard is going to go from like my 3rd highest projected guy to like my 6th now. So yeah, I don't want 90% of that. We'll see if the ownership kind of reflects it. Chris Bouchard now is projected for 30.9 fantasy points. That's a big difference from 37. So I'm not that high on it. I think Hollis Jefferson is going to stay the same for me. So is Powell since they're starting. Terrence Davis is actually going to go up because I wasn't expecting him to start. So if I give Terrence Davis 2 more minutes, he's now at 29 points. So Terrence Davis is my favorite Raptor right now by a wide margin. Matt Thomas had at 24.5 minutes or 24.5 points. He's now at 25.3, so he looks a little bit better. He's a yes for me. Stanley Johnson gets a knock downward since he's not starting at the 3 where I thought he might. He gets down a couple of points. He's still a 6x play. Hernandez is going to drop a lot. Probably going to drop him. I'll drop him like 6 minutes just because now that Bouchard's coming off the bench and Thomas is starting, Stanley Johnson's going to get a lot of backup minutes. He drops like 10 points. So I don't even want Hernandez now, so he's not going to be a play for me. Paul Watson still factors in a little bit, I would assume. So let me update this. Why do they have Gasol starting? Yeah, I don't know. I really wasn't projecting Gasol for much run. I gave him like 8 minutes the last time that I looked at it. Marc Gasol, I'm not going to give big minutes though. Like I have Marc Gasol right now projected for after I just gave him a couple more minutes. I have Marc Gasol projected for 12.3 fantasy points. I'm not projecting him to play more than a half, let alone like pretty much a half is where I have him at. Is Jeremy Grant a lock for 22-plus minutes? As of right now, I like Jeremy Grant to get 22-plus minutes, but again, that he can get ruled out in 20 minutes. Who is your top point guard? As of right now, it's Terrence Davis, but he's going to be like 70% owned. So let me update this over on. Alrighty, I'm going to bounce in about 6 minutes. Now that we got all that news out of the way, I mean, we're probably about to get Denver news. I'm going to update Patreon right now for the starters for Toronto, and then we shall chat. Matt Thomas, question mark? Yeah, Matt Thomas looks good. He projects for 25.3 points for me right now. How about Darius Bazley? I don't like the price point. There's just so much other value out there. It'll have to take a lot of guys being ruled out for Toronto for me to go, or for OKC for me to go to Bazley. Will Plumlee beast tonight? I think he has a great chance as long as somebody gets ruled out in the next 15 minutes. It's not even tonight. I mean, his game starts in 30 minutes. It says Dragic is out. Dragic is out, yes. Terrence Davis, yeah, he's going to look really good. Terrence Davis right now is the best. For me, he's the best play in the slate as of right now. 29.2 fantasy points at $3,900 is pretty damn good. But again, he's going to be probably the most owned guy in the slate, not named James Harden now. Sal really is the GOAT. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that, but I am no GOAT. I don't contribute much to society as much as I would like to. That is the big plans, right? If we can keep getting sponsors and partnerships and growing this brand and get noticed by ESPN or something and create a content platform for them, whatever it might be. And then the big plan is to settle in a city somewhere, build a collaborative space for other people who want to create content, and not just for the fun of creating content, but to actually make a business and soak every dollar that they can out of it in a productive and ethical and efficient manner. I would like to make a very collaborative co-space type of a thing, but just a next level to it. Like a well-run machine, not just a place that you go to study like a library. But that takes a lot of money to have a building and a lot of shit in there. So that's the long-term stuff. RHJ starting will drop Bouchard ownership. Yeah, it will, but I don't know how much it's going to drop it. He still projects out pretty nicely. Last questions. And Lou Williams. Any Clippers other than Zubac? Changing my line while commenting. Sorry for the mistakes. No, you're good, Ray. I can't have a stance right now on the Clippers. We're going to get news, right? That game doesn't start until 6:30. We're going to get news on their players. We're either going to get players ruled out or the starters. As of right now, if nobody got ruled out, I really don't have any interest in the Clippers. I have interest in their value, I'll say. I have interest in Kawhi and Paul George if they're going to play 30-plus minutes because there's just not a lot of guys in the slate who can score 40 points. And those guys right now project pretty close to it. But I have a feeling we're going to get news that says Kawhi is out, Paul George is out, something like that. Rivers enough of a core guy that they limit his minutes tonight. Does he usually get run? I think Rivers will get run. Davis or Sumner? Davis is going to be the better play there by a wide margin, but he'll also be 70% more owned. Favorite Denver plays? Well, I'm waiting to figure out what the Denver lineup is going to be, but my favorite Denver plays would be, just for pure points, Jokic at 37.6. For value, I would look at Plumlee, Dozier, and Grant, but it's not the greatest value right now. Sal, will any starters be seeing minutes today from any team? I will say yes, but not a lot. Daniel House projected for 26 minutes on Fantasy Labs. What are your thoughts? I have Daniel House projected for 29 minutes. 9 minutes. Chill, you don't need ESPN, boss. Oh, I would never accept a job from ESPN. If ESPN offered me a 6-figure job to be a sports anchor, I would turn that down in a heartbeat. I'm not talking about a job for ESPN. I have all the leverage in the world as an independent content creator. I was just talking to Nick Ercolano yesterday on Zoom about this, if you know his fantasy channel. Like, we have all the leverage in the world when it comes to the content game. The 2 to 3 people that reach out a week right now, and even more once football season gets closer, for potential sponsorship deals and partnerships, like, I have all the leverage in the world. I don't have to feel pressure to say yes because I don't need those people as much as they need me. I have the attention, right? Because I am just good at creating content and doing it consistently, and people can't do that. They can barely turn on cameras, let alone know how to produce content this consistently. Somebody says, Big Dog's got to eat. Yeah, Nick, BDGE. Yeah, Nick's a cool guy. Very relatable, obviously, from the work that we do. One-man small businesses, New Yorkers, Jersey for him. Bring it to Nashville, bro. We'll welcome you with open arms. Yeah, I would definitely do Nashville. That's a cool place. Game log watchers won't love Davis. They'll be all in on Powell. I don't think so. I do not think so. Both of those guys are going to be highly owned. Look, game log watchers don't exist anymore. It's about 5% of the playing field is game log watchers. They have no impact on the actual outcome of the ownership anymore. The ownership on Terrence Davis is likely going to be, I would assume, 50+% owned today. And I would put money that it's higher than Powell. Dougie McBuckets, yeah, he's a decent option today. No love for Murray? No. I really don't think Jamal Murray plays more than a half. By Gasol starting, will it hurt Bouchar's minutes? Yes, I dropped him down a couple. Am I crazy for playing Kawhi? No, you are not. Burks or Davis? Right now, Davis, but I'm going to just hold out. Are Leaf or Noel good plays? Fuck TJ Leaf, no. He's terrible, and he'll go drop 50 now, so you should probably play him. But I like Nerlens Noel, and I'm hoping that I only play him if Steven Adams gets ruled out, which I'm hoping for chaos later today. I'm not playing a lot of guys in my lineups today, from this 1 o'clock game. I'm about to get off so I can kind of get my lineups in. I'm not playing 150 today. Oh, fuck that. I'm not playing 150 today on this slate. No, I don't want to have an aneurysm when I'm out at a brewery because 90% of my lineups are dead because James Harden is out, right? At 8:50 tonight when James Harden gets ruled out, I don't want to be at a bar scrambling on my phone to change out 150 lineups one by one. Not happening. I'm going to play single entry and 3 max high stakes. I'm probably not playing the 777 today unless it doesn't fill by a lot. Yesterday, I hate myself for changing Josh Hart into Keldon Johnson and literally taking $18,000 out of my pocket, whatever it was. Somebody says Zubac interest. I think Zubac's fine. Like, I have him for 22 minutes. He grades out as meh, right? Like, all of the guys that you think are starting as of right now are probably bad plays, right? That's just the best way to say it. You want chaos. You want at 8:30 Houston to rule out Robert Covington, Houston to rule out Daniel House and James Harden. You want that tonight if you want to win. If you want to win, that's what you want. That's what I'm waiting for. And if it never happens, fuck it. I lose money or I break even or I barely profit, right? I'm not building lineups that suck. I'm building lineups that allow me to open up the possibility of actually having 5% owned guys that have 40+ point upside because their other starters are out. I have no interest in playing the guys who are projecting for 28 fantasy points, 27 fantasy points at 80% ownership, 70% ownership from Toronto. I have no interest in that. We love you, bro. Thanks for everything. Jokic is starting. All right, so those stars are out. All right, gang, I'm about to bounce. I appreciate all of you a lot. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Go support over on Patreon if you support my content. If this free content has ever helped you win a dollar bill, a dollar Ruski, and you come back, you win 20 grand today, you win 15 grand, and you want to support me, I really do appreciate that on Patreon. It allows this free stuff to continue to happen. Like, if there was no such thing as Patreon, I'd be not doing these videos as often as I am, right? It would not be sustainable for my life in my business, right? So appreciate all of you on Patreon. You all rock. Go play on Super Draft. The Super Draft projections are updated. As of right now, the top play on Super Draft is Terrence Davis, projected for 58.4 Super Draft points. That is the top play on Super Draft. And that's a place where you can actually get some really good value out of it. I believe they're doing the whole 4-game slate. Do you have Instagram? I do have Instagram. It's Sal Vetri. I use it more so for personal. There's sometimes I post business stuff, but it's more so like momentums, like when I hit 20,000 subscribers, when I actually started my LLC, like officially, those types of things. When I started my podcast, I use Instagram, but I keep it more personal. I don't think Instagram works right now. Well, first of all, it's a dying platform. In the next year or two, it's going to be dying, and then people will probably jump off of it for 2 years, and then it'll be good again because the search might get a little bit better. But you have to go where your people are. It's good if you have a team to put content on every single platform. But for me personally, Twitter is where my reach is, outside of obviously the podcast and YouTube, right? That's where the actual reach is. But Twitter to interact with my community and live streams, those are where the reach is. Instagram is not. Instagram is dead in my opinion in terms of search. If you put out fantasy content there, the only way people are seeing it, it's a dead end for the most part, is if you're bringing people to that. And what's the upside in that on Instagram? Bouchard not a lock on SuperDraft. Bouchard is projected for 57.17 points. I mean, yeah, you could play these guys on SuperDraft. That's fine with me. The SuperDraft contest is right now only. So there might be some overlay in SuperDraft. Let me see this. SuperDraft contest is only. This might be good. Only 59% full with 26 minutes left. I assume it gets closer to filling, but I think it might not get over 80%. So yeah, in a contest that's going to have probably no rake and maybe overlay, I'm probably going to go in there and play a lot of the chalky type plays. But again, just know that all these Toronto guys are going to be highly owned on SuperDraft when the exact same thing. There's late swap on SuperDraft. In 3 hours from now, there's going to be just as good plays on SuperDraft at a tenth of the ownership. So I don't think Bouchard is a lock on SuperDraft because of the fact that guys are going to project out close to him later on today at much lower ownership. I've only got Bouchard on SuperDraft. Haven't been in here for a minute. Sal really went from $1K to $24,000 with nothing but grinding. Yeah, man, I never have videos take off. This is DFS. DFS videos for the NFL, like this year I might be able to pull like 20,000 per view, but last year was constant 8 and 10,000. It was just a matter of getting quantity and quality out. Hopefully some of these over the next couple weeks, NFL videos, season-long stuff can pop off a couple. That'd be nice. Why isn't my Twitter telling me that there's updates right now? Jeremy Grant will start for the resting Michael Porter, so let me update that on Patreon projections. But I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of you a ton. I'm going to bounce so I can get my own lineup situated and I can get these projections updated for Patrons. I remember the days way back. Much love, Sal. Appreciate you, Bill. Appreciate you all so much. Thank you. Have a ton of fun today. Sign up on SuperDraft. Promo code SAL, S-A-L. $10, 50% deposit match, up to $1,000 Rooskies. When will SuperDraft be available in Jersey? Hopefully soon. You got sports betting there. Why the hell do we not have SuperDraft there? I think Underdog just got approved in Jersey, so hopefully very soon. Peace out, gang. Subscribe and like before you leave, and I'll see you in the next one. Playoffs are on Monday. I'm not going to do a video for the showdown. If you want that, the projections will be on Patreon. But that's it. Taking the weekend off from content. Just going to backlog a couple of NFL season-long videos, and then, chill. So thank you all. Appreciate it. Hit the like button before you guys leave. Yeah, thanks again, Mike, for talking about the breweries a couple. I'm probably going to try one of those out today. So thanks a ton. Peace out, gang. Got a nice little cut, too. Nice little fade. I don't know where you get your haircuts, Mike. If you pay for your haircuts out, you do them yourself. But, yeah, man, my man Monster, the barber, he's a real one. You should check him out. Peace out, gang. Peace out. Peace out.